horse drifted alarmingly in the betting was, fancied in the morning, continued to drift. It was late on the exchanges to lose. It was something you'd see in a Dick Francis novel, Charles Buttons.
The ground is soft. It's
heavy.
It's soft on times.
It's heavy.
Okay.
Hello and welcome. Yes, it's that time of week again. It's Sunday sermon time where we all bash your bonds off, talk waffle, and usually speak a lot of rubbish. But it seems that he is trying to aid us and abet us this week because no one seems to be bothered about the racing. Everyone's bothered about food. We've got more food questions, I think, than I've ever seen.
Yep.
But why don't we just do review shows, Chris and John? Why don't we just do fucking food review show instead?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just go to a nice restaurant and just say, well, this is all right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it kind of works on YouTube for some, doesn't it? These eating accounts.
Yeah.
Gary fucking ate.
He does.
Twat.
Well, there you go, you see. There's no appetite for racing anymore. It's boring, isn't it? No one cares. Get on 70s toys and food. That's all people want to talk about. Weird.
Well, the evidence of that, and obviously, and I'm not criticising our listeners. We'll tailor our shows to what they want. But
lowest common denominator, isn't it? We're capable of more.
We are capable of more. The fact that there was no questions on racing's taxation, which is remarkable, really. I see that's going to affect probably the entire game, but never mind.
I think people are kind of just all kind of washed out with it now.
Resigned to it, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, resigned to it. People think, what will be, will be. I think it's end of day stuff, isn't it, really?
Yeah, we've done what we can in the good fight for racing to have a levied tax that will obviously fund it much better than what is currently the case. Obviously, Big Corp don't want that. They want it harmonised with online slots. But look, it is what it is. And we've done our best to fight for racing's cause. And hopefully the ministers will listen. If you haven't listened to that podcast, you are interested in that debate. I did one with Derek Webb the other day, and it's quite a good listen in terms of knowledge. And if that's something you want to listen to, if not, and you want to talk Terry and June, French fancies, maybe carry on listening. But anyway, first and foremost, let's get it out of the way. It's that weekend of the year where if you put yourself to sleep for 48 hours, you'd miss nothing. And that's exactly what's happened this weekend, of course, the Shergar Cup. We've had the racing leagues fully underway as well. It seems, John, they're ramming these team things down as a little, like in the winter with the jockeys, points for prizes, prize money, the winter series. And it seems like they're trying to make everything into, whereas we know punting is not about that. It's self-centered. It's if you're winning, you don't give a fuck. And
the BHA stance on the Shergar Cup kind of reminds me of Murder, She Wrote. As with every detective who crosses the path of our heroine, Jessica Fletcher, the BHA just stubbornly refuse to believe the evidence in front of their noses that this is detested by almost every serious follower of the sport, while the detectives tend to poo-poo the idea that the victim was done in by the cousin, as Jessica suggests, preferring to arrest whoever Jessica's visiting or who she shagged in the past.
Oh, God. Angela Lansbury.
Wash your mouth out. Good God.
What are you saying, mate? She didn't have a past?
Well, she did. And in fact, interesting bit of trivia, she rescued her daughter who went to live with the Mansons at Spahn Ranch, and he swept her up and moved her to Ireland. There you go. 10 years connection with the Manson. Yeah. Her daughter fell in with them for a few months and she got her out of there. There you go, see?
Your random facts are quite impressive. I've got to admit, the stuff that you know, I'd say like 99.97% of the world doesn't.
Well, no, that's because I make it up. Nothing is true. I'm not an onion. Peel another layer of lies and bullshit and dissembling. No, but that's absolutely true. That is absolutely true.
Yeah. So coming on to your point regarding the Racing League and Shergar Cup, there's been quite a bit of debate about it and whether it's... Jeff Lynch says, Racing League and Shergar Cup, can you convince me it's good for racing? Good for a bet, good for increasing followers.
Oh, is that wrong? I say,
yeah, in fairness, Shergar Cup was decent first few years. Now it's boring. Novelty long gone. To be fair, I don't think we've ever liked it.
No, I mean, Maureen Agus woke up today saying the jockeys are all shit.
Well, who they've put on today, and I know Huge Bowman, he won the Silver Saddle, but he he's obviously big ticket.
Served up
Obviously,
the worst ride of the day as well.
yeah, he did actually. You're not getting top class sport in terms of
Oh,
who's
no.
riding in it. Again, I'm still struggling to see the concept behind it, but maybe some listeners don't mind it.
We could have a snooker match or something.
And then darts.
On my
Yeah.
nose as well.
Yeah, like revive the indoor league.
Yeah, wheel tappers and shunters club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Go back to them sort of days. Bill Carson says, just like the faux excitement of the team captains in the racing league, the Shergar Cup is a dead duck. Why can't they just name a race after him at, say, Royal Ascot? I don't like the fact they've hijacked one of the most impressive Derby winners ever seen to promote this, really. It's
The
just,
Derek Thompson Shergar meeting. That's what they should call it. I think that'd be quite good.
yeah.
It'd be a nice add-on, wouldn't it?
Yeah. The IRA Shergar Cup. That's quite good.
Especially after Dickie Pittman poo-pooed the Tomo story.
He absolutely, and that's what I was sort of gently referring to, John. You're right, yeah, how he kind of inserted himself into the drama after it had happened. Very skillful, that. He's gone up in my estimation as Tomo. I never thought he was capable of that kind of move, but there you go.
Well, not even for the top C's thing.
Yeah, the top C thing. You see, I believe him with that, though, actually. I think he's telling the truth, but there you go.
He fell apart under the lights, didn't he?
He did, but then I think, wasn't it George Carman cross-examining him? And I think anyone would sort of melt like butter under his sort of withering cross-examination. But yeah.
I'd have fancied a crack at Carmen back in the day.
You punched him in the throat, I think would be the best thing to do, wouldn't it? That'd be the first move. You see, you open your trap, I'll cut your fucking head off and throw it out the window. That'd have quietened him down, wouldn't it?
Different opinion from Boschman. He says he personally feels Shergar Crap isn't awful. Ascot best attended event outside the Royal Meeting, and at least it's only one day. I get that. It's not like Racing League. You've got to have it for 6 weeks.
No, but let's be fair. If Ascot put Billy Idol on it, it'd be third best, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Billy Idol. William Idol to his friends, yeah.
Yeah, and Boschman thinks that the Sunday Series Racing League are far worse on all fronts. The problem I've got, don't get me wrong, there are some people that like really competitive racing, like Hong Kong, where there's like 3 lengths from first to last. And that's what pretty much the Racing League Sunday Series is like, where it's 4-1, 5-1 the field. They're notoriously tricky contests, like winners in, fine value, because prices go up quite early. So anything that is put in at a rick seems to get taken. It's not my favourite betting medium, any of those things, really. What about you, John, for betting on like Racing League and Sunday Series?
I can't remember having a bet on them.
Well, no, you're losing enthusiasm these days for most betting heats. So I'd certainly say that would be high up on your list.
Yeah.
Look, folks, it is what it is, isn't it? Races decided these are the products they're going to serve up.
It all protects the margin, doesn't it? And in these days of gross profits tax, it has to be good as we go marching down the path, hand in hand with Big Corp.
Yeah. Going on to a bit of the racing, which doesn't really focus on the Shergar Cup for me. I just thought I'd mention a couple of racing things that I thought were interesting in the news. Obviously, a big bombshell has broken regarding some northern jockeys and a trainer, apparently, that have been up to near good in terms of getting involved in some nasty business on the illegal side. There is a police investigation. So even though I do know the names of said jockeys, it would be absolutely stupid and folly of me. Would you agree with that, Chris, to mention them live on air?
Yeah, you've got a ongoing police inquiry, as they say euphemistically. Whether that will come to anything, I would say 50s on, it won't, and that's probably value. I just don't see how the police will be able to knit that one together to get the CPS to charge.
Well, do you remember when Fallon, in that obviously big Old Bailey court case, and they even managed to mess that up?
Of course they did.
To be fair, it's not an easy thing to get criminal prosecution, because you could say that, this is just circumstances.
You even have prominent, alleged Irish major international crime figures involved with guns in cars going to shoot jockeys, and they still couldn't get it over the line. It's really, really difficult, and it's massively expensive. And I think after that one fell over, I think you'll find certainly City London Police, Met Police said, fucking no more of that. It's far too expensive. What are you going to get out of it? You'll be absolutely amazed if the police manage to get the evidence and convince the CPS to sort of levy charges. Too expensive, and it just isn't worth their while. I think it's best left to the regulator for those individuals.
Yeah, so we move on from that. Discussing a race, John, today. I was quite surprised that the Aidan O'Brien fours on shot, True Love, got beat.
I think she's just run as fast as a cart, to be honest.
She was sort of off it and couldn't even get the other one at it, really. The Ammo winner, which is obviously great news for Kia to have a Group 1 success. But at the same time, racing could do with an odd superstar. And
I think maybe it's Superstar was non-runner.
yeah, of course, Stard is rerouted to tackle the Prix Mornay after missing out today.
But let's not forget, this filly was having like a 5th run since the beginning of May. And I know he gets away with it a lot being hard on these fillies, but some of them have got to fucking crack, haven't they?
Yeah, as I said, it's just the way it is. It's like I'm wanting something in racing that gets my blood flowing. And we've got the EBO meeting coming up. And I remember saying in a conversation with you, John, earlier this week that even though it is my favourite meeting and I love it, I'm still a bit less excited than I normally am. I don't know why that is.
You're waiting for the buzz to arrive.
Yeah. There was one intriguing thing, though. At least Lady Imam, the 2-year-old,
Yes, interesting news.
is running in the Nunthorpe. So we've got a juvenile in the Nunthorpe, which always adds a little bit of spice.
A juvenile ridden by a senile. He's both Joe Fanning, hasn't he?
Incredible, yeah. 54-year-old Joe Fanning taking part, one of the quickest 5 furlongs in the country. So go for it, Joe.
He goes right in the middle of his afternoon nap in this.
Yeah, he'll nod off, won't he? Yeah.
During Quincy or something, yeah.
Quincy.
Yeah. Jack Klugman.
Klugman, yeah.
That's him, yeah.
So what's her chances, Lady Imam?
Well, if she's a half-decent sprinter in the making, she should have an excellent chance, because the sprint division's fucking shit.
It is.
Talk about clutching at straws, wanting something to come through. There was another one noted as having a go, wasn't there? One of Aiden's?
Yes.
Charles Darwin, was it? Or?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. I don't think that's running that rest of the season, is it, Charles Darwin?
Oh, God knows. You probably got William Gladstone in the wings waiting to go. Benjamin Disraeli.
The younger or somebody like that.
Oh, yeah, we haven't had one of them yet, have we?
No, we haven't.
Bit of news there, the racing world. Obviously, the shock of the fours on getting beat. And of course, our very own Jack had some information that Stard wasn't running and took advantage of the rather favourable Rule 4 terms. You think he ended up with 8 to 11 about a 4s on, 5s on shot. Yeah, and still can't get it over the line.
What a jammy bastard, eh?
I feel for Jack at the moment. Some rotten luck. Andy McGee, thoughts on Eddie Great Bets, unable to remove Hood on Man of La Mancha on Brighton on Wednesday, and no pocket talk as he didn't back it. But again, this removal of Hood thing, for me, and I think this is what should happen. I think if the Hood's removed late, there should be repercussions for the jockey, because at the end of the day, that's his fault.
Yeah, it is his fault. It's a fucking favourite. I saw the race. I did have a few quid on it because I really fancied it. My own opinion. I thought you've just done your money before the fucking gates open. It's absolutely nonsense. And if he doesn't get a fine or something, what other explanation is there than he didn't remove the Hood in time? That's not the punter's fault, is it? That's not the horse's fault even. Brick on top.
Yeah, there's times when they've got to face the wrath of the stewards for doing that.
Well, there's absolutely no excuse for it, is there? It's a piece of cloth with a handle on it. And when the stall open, you pull the handle towards yourself.
Yeah. What did he think was going to happen? What, the gates wouldn't open? He'd have an hour or two to work it out?
But it's not like there's an 11-digit combination you have to fucking guess, is it?
Yeah, you got to like fucking, you do it in a certain way. No, you just pull the fucking handle off.
You're not cracking a safe.
No, you're not. It's not like you complete silence. I need to hear the tumblers drop. No. It's a fucking handle. You grip it and you pull. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, that's incompetence, isn't it? Nothing is said.
It is, and punters suffer at the hands of that because it's obviously you knew your fate after the first 2 seconds of the race.
What do you reckon the suitable punishment? 3 weeks back at the racing college?
Yeah.
No, demonstrating for 3 weeks how to get the hood up.
There's a course for that module, isn't there?
Them out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
What a game.
Johnny Two's been on. He says that he wants to know the Northern Jockey he's going to get done for race fixing. Obviously, we've just touched on that, Johnny, while we can't say anything, with it being a police investigation. If it was just BHA internal inquiry, I'd be more comfortable at releasing the names. There's no reason not to. But legals get in the way, I'm afraid. Dean Nuttall says, if you could change the result of one race in history, which would it be and why?
Hey,
Oh, easy. When Melly Moss finished second in that Grand National, that fucking Ruby Walsh thing at Ted Walsh Road.
you are back there at 33.
Did you? That's nice. You're good.
Yeah, you want that out there?
Yeah, I want that out, Melly Moss for Charlie Egerton, working class boy. Yeah, I backed Melly Moss at a massive price, and another one chinned on the line. Fucking hell.
I'd say there's two that stand out for me. One is a betting reason. I stood to win nearly 350,000.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'd have to forget the name of it. I'm sorry, I should have looked it up for you. It was like 7-2-5. It missed the kick.
It wasn't tough.
Well, 350 large, that was.
Aim.
Yeah, so that was certainly one I'd love to change if I could. And secondly, I think for nostalgia, it would be Deja in the Breeders' Cup sprint when he jumped the shadow and that cost it. And I would like sort of heartbroke there for the horse because it was a real good animal. Yeah, so that for me, John.
Breeders' Cup, mile 1989, Zilzo.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
That left a sour taste. I could happily live without that in my life.
Yeah.
Definitely one of your favourite all-time horses, Zilzal. An incredible turn of foot. What was that story about Zilzal, John, when he was beating Guineas winner or something?
Well, he thumped Irish Guineas winner, and that led him to believe that Irish Guineas winner was off colour, so I didn't fancy him so much for SJP. Then when he won SJP, I thought, well, fucking hell.
Yeah.
We've got one here.
Oh, yeah. Good old Zilzal. What good days. Chris, you said Melly Moss. Any others come to mind?
You could probably name anything in the last 12 months, endless seconds, anything that's just fucking done on the line is a killer, isn't it? You'd almost rather be tailed off as a punter, wouldn't you? You'd want to be out the back of the telly because that's better than just getting done in the shadow of the post. And Christ, we've had more seconds than Oliver Twist lately, haven't we? Christ.
Here's a controversial one, right? Might we have been better off if Salcombe hadn't won the Melrose because he's caused us to go on this fucking 3-year quest to find another fucking Melrose.
Weird, didn't it? I mean, you're obsessed with the fucking Melrose.
Probably got under our toenails now, hasn't it?
That's all we got about, like, since the start. That's a
northern thing, isn't it?
April, you got a 10 furlong maiden. You're looking at all the fucking boats out the back, saying,
Sometimes you can end up with 3 or 4 runners in it, and you don't know which one to back for best.
35 off shortlist.
Yeah, it's a pain in the arse. Yeah, I agree, John. That should have won at Goodwood anyway, because I had more on it at Goodwood when Ollie got it beat.
If he won at Goodwood, we could have just fucked him off and that'd have been it.
Yeah.
I was stood next to you that day, and those bins went up, and then the bins went down. And that's how's it going? Yeah, it's fucking cruel, wasn't it? God, that was cruel.
Yeah. He got an habit of missing the kick there. That was a problem, but that wouldn't have mattered so much at York because he obviously held up his being on the front end.
Yeah, so actually that's the result we probably should have changed, really. Not the fucking York one, but the one at Goodwood. Change the Goodwood result. We've all got paid. We don't give a fuck about York then. It wouldn't have affected us mentally like it has.
Correct. Dragged you into the mire, yes.
Good question, Dean. RD, if you could be one racing celebrity for a day, whom would it be? And what would you partake in other than being Saffy Osborne's saddle? Oh, RD. Come on.
You pinched my answer there. That's what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. Dirty bastard. Fucking trod on my best line there. That's what I was going to say. Well done. You ruined it now.
If I could be one for a day, I actually would be Ryan Moore, I think, because if I've got his skills...
You talk too much. You couldn't stay quiet for that long, could you?
No, not like
if you were, I'd be on the phone to you every minute. What do you think of this one? What's that doing? You just fucking fancy that or what? Yeah. It's a nice horse. That's all you'd say, wouldn't you, if you were Ryan Moore?
There were footage of Ryan Moore the other day. I can't remember what channel it was on. I don't know if it was Racing TV or ITV. They showed you them waiting to come out. Oh, it was Goodwood. That was it, because of the weather. The weather was bad, so they took them in. Just watching them all in the weighing room, you got some jockeys laughing and joking with each other. chin wagging away, and you got Ryan Moore just like dead inside. Stood there staring.
Some of them getting their bets on in India. That was all like it's all going
Oh
on.
yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
Please, sir, I want 11 to 10. No,
Yeah.
no. You have evens. That's it.
Yeah, Delhi hotline, isn't it?
Yeah.
In Wayne Room.
No evens for you. Odds on. Yeah.
So, John, I'm coming to you because I reckon you might have a decent answer.
Well, the indecent one would be Paul Mulrennan.
Oh, gosh. Yes.
That would be the first part of call, I think.
Why Paul Mulrennan?
What do you think? Fucking hell, switch on. Yeah.
yeah, sorry.
Probably my favourite shithouse in Newmarket, Mr. Gosden. I think that'd be it.
Is that so you can actually talk eloquently? I think it is, John. I think
I'd actually use the term positively to kneecap myself.
Would you? It dripped Black and Decker through the fucking kneecaps. Yeah, both sides.
very sadistic.
The only way it's going to happen, isn't it? So,
RD, that covers that. Harry Diamond, what band would a journeyman jockey get for the ride Oisin Murphy gave Corinth on Thursday night? For listeners that didn't see it, this was a horse that was DQ'd after Murphy was found to have let his mount bump the rival on the rail and thus preventing it getting a clean run to the line. I didn't rate the ride at all, Harry Diamond, simply because he could have won by further and then he wouldn't have lost it in the stewards. If you watch him in the closing stages, he's just pushing it out, hands and heels, looking after the horse, if you want to call it that. It was terrible for punters. If you've backed that, you're sick because you knew the minute that crossed the line, you were in trouble. Whereas if he'd have actually just got stuck in a little bit more, you might have won 3/4 of a length to a length, and then that's it. It doesn't matter. Probably a ban for the jock or whatever, etc., etc., etc. Did you see it, John?
I did. I think Harry Diamond makes a very good point, actually, because I don't think the Sandown stewards would have missed an opportunity to get some real performative cruelty going and got stuck in if it had been a journeyman. Demonstrated just how tough they can be on the sort of actions that can cause accidents.
Indeed. Harry well picked out for sort of getting us to mention that because I think it is important that we can be critical. And racing media should. Racing media should do their job and be extremely critical of the ride, which, of course, I agree with you totally. VW Horses and Cricket has been on, racing in a perilous state, and course is probably going to start closing in the near future, which we have sort of touched on in past shows. Which 3 courses would you actually get rid of now? John, what is your top 3 that you would just, that's it?
Catterick, Fosslas and Chepstow.
Reasons.
Shit.
Very succinct.
I never ever wanted to bet at any of them.
No.
Well-
They're horrible, aren't they?
Well, Catterick can be tricky because they're putting on a lot of shorter distance races these days because we're breeding for speed. 7 furlongs and less at Catterick.
It's a pistol.
Yeah, you're in trouble. You might have lost the race in the first furlong there many a time, so not easy there. Fosslas, I know where you're coming from, John, because the form there, for whatever reason, doesn't work out. And I'm sure there's a system. I'm going to have to check it out after this podcast. Some of you might check it out. But I think laying Favs blind at Fosslas when the ground's on the soft side, in other words, like a pudding.
That's all the time, then.
Yeah. You make money blind. Pretty certain that applied for a while. I don't know if it still does. So I'd have to check that out. But the ground there is an enigma.
Yeah.
Last 3 furlongs, you could have some that beat 3 furlongs.
Yeah.
It's astonishing play. And what was the other one you picked?
Chepstow.
Don't you like the front end rail bias?
No, I don't like any aspect of it at all. I don't like
Welsh
the parading
people, I think there's a thread there. You don't like Welsh
Well, yeah,
people.
obviously there's that,
Fossler,
but-
Chepstow, yeah.
I don't like the parade ring exit going onto the track, which I've never been a fan of. I don't like them stupid fucking undulations. When you look down the bloody track, I mean, it's ridiculous. And yeah, Welsh people.
Yeah.
For me, one of my most disappointing tracks that I don't particularly like is Wolverhampton.
Mm-hmm.
12, 13 runners around there. It's not big enough for that amount of runners, really. It's tough to get a clean trip. And I think that suits, as John says, GPT. That suits the game because the amount of bad trips you get around there. I have loads around there. And it's, sometimes I just think, shall I just give up at the
Can
course?
anybody actually remember the grass round there?
Yeah.
I can't even remember the track.
Yeah, I was there when they had the grass. I went to back an Abdullah horse, Blogger S bet it was like 4 to 6.
Mm.
And I thought it should be about 2-7.
47.
Yeah. Yeah. That I can remember it. Just literally got up online. Like I was sweating my bollocks off all the way around.
I'd have been 47 then.
Well, that's it. I was probably wrong, but I got paid. I used to enjoy it. I used to enjoy the turf there. It was better than the.
How would you compare it to, say, Warwick on grass?
It's a shame about that last bend for health and safety reasons, because Warwick was a brilliant track for me in terms of punting.
It was a cracking track to bet on for bias, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. And that 2.5 furlong running.
Up there with Folkestone.
Yeah, it suited anything that could just sit either lead or just sit off it. And if you've got that foot in the last 2.5 furlongs, you've won. Straightforward betting there. Chris, I've not asked you on this.
All of them, get rid of it. Let's move on. It's a horrible sport. Really is. It's a curse.
You're just like our listeners wanting to talk sitcoms and food.
Yeah, exactly. It's a curse. Don't you think following this sport has been a curse? Do you not feel that it's just endless disappointment punctuated with the odd good day? It's like, I think it's a curse, isn't it? Pray your enemies, bet horses. I think that's right, because I think it's just a lifetime of disappointment, isn't it? So let's have boarded up, concreted over, and let's put asylum hostels on them all, I think.
Well, that might be happening.
Yeah, that's you just in the future, folks.
I'm not Aldous Huxley here, and I'm Brave New World. Yes, quite.
Yeah.
No, in all seriousness, I think your views are pretty much in accord with mine. I don't like Fosslas. I don't like Brighton, and people be screaming about that because it's such a quirk. I can't stand that place. Never had any luck. And I'd even get rid of Epsom. I think it's a horrible, horrible track to bet at. Just purely from a punting point of view. Dreadful. I think it's a horrible track.
The approach for Brighton is different. What if I do play there, which I do agree with you, Chris, not the easiest place. What I like certain trainers there that target the horses there in particular. Tony Carroll's one of them.
He's brilliant. He's mustard. Absolute mustard. I went to his stable many, many years ago when he just started off, and he had about 8 horses. And of course, he was Dave Wintour's stable jock for many years. So I got introduced to Tony Carroll by Dave, and he said, "Do you want to look around the stable?" I said, yeah. And it was this ramshackle yard. I think it was John Spearing's place, or he's renting a bit off it. And he's one of the few trainers said, "Got this horse here," unbidden. I didn't ask him, and he said, "That's running in 2 weeks." So I said, "Oh yeah, what's it called?" He said, "I'm running it in the cellar." He said, "You can have whatever you like on it and then some." He says, "Absolute certainty." I thought, there was a bit of confidence there. Fucking was 7-2 down to like 4 or 5 pissed up. So he's a fair old judge, is Tony Carroll, and he does really, really well at Brighton and places like that. So yeah, he would be one of mine that I would have a horse with. If you wanted a sort of below the radar sort of trainer that could do it, Tony Carroll's as good as any, I think.
Completely agree with you there. Good question.
You don't have many leaks from that yard. You don't get sort of messages come out of it, do you, when they have one, when they really set one up? They're very tight there.
It's a yard I don't think I've ever received a message from.
No, same here. They just don't, do they? They don't miss too often, do they? Let's face it. And they're always prices as well. Yeah,
when the cash is down, for sure. Right, we're coming on to a more interesting part of the show. I say interesting because the questions go all awry, shall we say. You make the show, so look, I'm not complaining. We'll talk about anything if you just put it out there. We do think some of you are strange, but we'll still go over it. So Rory's been on Macadore. Do any of you watch the big match revisited Saturday morning after the opening show? Worth it for the haircuts alone, also the odd comb over. When you were younger, did you guys go ever full Terry McDermott or Kajagoogoo haircut?
Not all Kajagoogoo, no, I have to say, but I've been known to have the odd dye job now and again over the years. So, but not quite as extravagant as that. I can't say I did.
Were you a handsome man, Chris, when you were younger?
No. So you can see how fucking horrible it looks. But I think at the time, you think, yeah, that looks all right, that looks well fresh. And you look at it now, you think, what a fucking cock. But that's how it was.
Any adventurous haircuts from you, John?
I had a Botham-esque mullet in my cricketing days.
Whoa, yeah.
Solid choice.
Yeah. That's come back in now.
It has. My son sports a contemporary mullet now, so it's an in haircut.
Yeah. I did have highlights in the hair at one point in the mid-80s.
They used to pull it through that little fucking skull cap with the holes in, didn't they?
Yeah, that used to like buggery, that.
Oh, yeah. The pin going in the hair and pulling it through, yeah.
I used to say, that's enough. I don't want any more highlights.
Did you? I know you just got to bite your bottom lip, eyes watering, because you don't want the bird doing it, think you're a fucking...
And then the kids used to say, I've only pulled 3 bits, so you're going to look like fucking alfalfa.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. David Johnson's been on. Now we seem to be going on to food. This is where I presume we've just may as well set up a food show. David Johnson, Timeform, says, I can't remember the brand, but they did a wide range of boil in the bag specials. Spaghetti bolognese, chicken curry, chicken supreme, a Friday night staple. There was a time when Dolmio did a frozen lasagna with a free Mars ice cream. This is culinary. I mean,
Excellence.
I think them boiling the bags were Findus.
Yeah, if Vesta did the boil in the bag, they were the first boil in the bag curries.
Yeah, they came in a box, though, didn't they? They were like top shelf thing. Yeah, the Findus stuff was out the fridge, but the rest of the stuff was so full of chemicals they could just leave it on the shelf.
yeah.
It cook its fucking self, wouldn't it, eventually?
Yeah.
Paul S said that the last time he had a Vesta beef curry with rice, he was at school, and it was followed by an Angel Delight butterscotch version. That was the highlights, I think, of Paul S's school days and culinary delights.
Do you remember in the Vesta curries where they used to put that little bag of things that looked like quavers?
Mm.
And you'd have them on top of your curry. I mean, what the fuck were they supposed to be? Was it like
Very peculiar.
supposed to be poppadom shreds or something?
Do you know what? I think they were. I'm sure people will look it up for us, but I think they're meant to be sort of bits of poppadom
It was just
to give that
plain
authentic,
quavers.
yes, subcontinental cuisine.
This is not food related, but he describes himself at 14 going on to play a bit of golf and caddying to make a few quid as a teenager. What did you do in your teen years to supplement your lifestyle? Whatever it was back then. I was school booking. I ran the school book.
Other than Grange Hill, right, you're the only two people I've ever met that had a school bookie. I don't know any school that had a resident bookmaker.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you had to push it. The interest wasn't there to start with. You had to get the kids interested.
Right, okay, so it's like drug dealing, really.
Yeah, pretty much. You drop a little taste at it and then start rubbing them plan.
Yeah,
Free samples, bruv, pure power.
I think Frank Bruno was fighting. I think he was fighting something like Tim Witherspoon, somebody like that. It was live on ITV or whatever, you know. I just had this idea and I thought, right, why not like put some odds up? So I checked what the odds were on teletext before I left and then increased the margins a bit.
Massively.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
You're having you over.
Yeah, I don't know what prices were. I can't remember. But anyway, I did a good book. I took about 20 bets from people in the year. Took about £3.50 in bets, and I couldn't lose either way. So I just thought
betting 10 on each of two, were you?
Well, that were best when it was boat race. I was actually pretty competitive, and it was the year that there was nothing between the two. It was like, don't pick a winner, Cambridge or Oxford. On the teletext, it was 4 to 5 each of two. I just went 4 to 6 each of two. I even had a kid that come and back both.
Each way, yeah. and a reverse forecast.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. He had 50 pence on each. So that supplemented my teen days anyway until I got found out.
Yes, and that was that.
Did you ever play nearest at wall at school?
Pitch and toss, we used to call it.
Pitch and toss, yes, I know it's that. Yeah.
No,
I never played that. No, never.
Yeah, I got reprimanded for that because I weren't half bad at it, and so I took this lad's dinner money off him at break time. His mum found out that he weren't eating because he was just doing all his money in nearest at wall, so I got brought in for that as well.
That's good.
Yeah, they didn't like gambling even back then. Dirty word, gambling.
See, you're part of the social harm brigade now, aren't you? Really?
I'm a nasty old.
Got him into slots afterwards, did you? I expect. Yeah. Fucking come down. I've got a little fruit machine here, boy. Yeah, you got to win all your money back. Well, okay.
Yeah. There was some great times. School bully once pinned me up round back at geography up and made me lame like even money Agler to beat Leonard.
Oh God, that went well. Yeah.
I actually won the bet. Incredible. So that's made it worse because obviously he weren't
done his money, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. So then I had to lame John Terry to win Young Player of the Year award. Of course, he'd already won it, so he was basically just saying, "Give me the £5."
Yeah, exactly.
I can't win. I thought, well, if I gets him off me back, then I don't have to take any more bets from him, and I don't get beat up. Right, going back to more food stuff. Dave's been on. He says, I remember those warm mushroom vol au vents back in the day. Absolutely vile.
Get chesswood, tinned mushrooms. That's why you used to get the filling for them.
So I like tinned mushrooms. I must be in a real minority.
Sliced button mushrooms in grey sauce.
Love it. Delicious. Still delicious.
Tinned fruit salad with evaporated milk was even worse, says Dave.
No, it's delicious. You're completely and utterly, you're so wrong. You're safety dance wrong on that. There is nothing better, right, than tin fruit salad with evaporated milk. I have evaporated milk in my tea. What kind of a monster does that make me? I think it's extraordinary stuff. And you're all wrong. Honestly.
I think
Tin fruit
I,
salad is...
I don't mind condensed milk in coffee.
Yeah, again, John, you're right there. It's bang on, mate.
I'm with Dave, really.
Cheese is wrong.
Dave,
All tinned fruits are delicious. Especially that cloying syrups. Wonderful stuff. You've changed, man. You used to be about the music.
Can't beat, right? This is a good one. Del Monte tinned prawns. If you shove a tin of prawns in a beef casserole, you will never ever regret it.
What? What does it do to the
It
flavour?
just gives it a certain sweetness, but depth. It just gives it depth and character. And the prawn against beef flavour is amazing.
Okay.
Honestly, give that a spin up, report back. You will not be.
No, okay.
Producer's not having a bar of that, but then she is a vegetarian anyway.
Beef bit that does her, not the prunes.
Yeah.
The prawns in gravy is a bit iffy, yes, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting idea, John. What do you think at home with John's idea? Let us know.
Give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go. Give it a go, as Gary Eats says. Rory, red and brown sauce for bacon butties. Where do you stand?
Red.
I'm red. I bet you're brown, John.
No, I'm red all the way.
All right, interesting.
But the only thing I can do brown sauce in is mint.
Yeah.
Just a quick dab of brown sauce at the end of cooking. And that's if I've got no Henderson's relish. Otherwise, brown sauce can fuck off.
Yeah. Producer likes brown sauce on an egg and hash brown sandwiches, John.
Oh my God. That's like fucking triple death for me, that.
Yeah.
Matey, egg and fucking brown.
That's a sandwich. Yeah,
That's nice. No, I'm with her on that one. That's a cracking sandwich.
I'd be on the upper ledge, ready to jump.
No. You're just not giving it a chance. Lovely.
Andrew Mount's been on. Good old Andrew Mount. Mr. Statin. He knows what he's doing.
He does.
Bird's Ice Magic. Do you remember it? The chocolate sauce that you squeezed
I do.
on your ice cream.
Fantastic.
I don't know if it's taking the piss, but you'll probably laugh at me here. The technology was later used to develop Viagra. I get it. It's a joke. I know.
Unless you put it on your penis, I'm not entirely sure. Could do, I suppose. But yeah, it was best enjoyed on ice cream rather than the male generative member.
Yeah. But it went on plenty of cocks back in the day.
Fucking did, yeah. I bet I've got on plenty of cocks tonight. These perverts listen to this shit.
I know, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Get some of those in, love. We'll have a night in, yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah. Absolutely. Can't disagree.
Ship advice as well we're giving.
Yeah, tell you what, lad, food stalls inside and outside at football grounds. God knows what was in the hot dogs and burgers back then. I know what he's on about. Get like the burgers. I don't know what were in them. Like,
The shirt buttons you found in them, yeah, they were fucking something else, weren't they?
Yeah,
those burgers.
Yeah.
Strangely delicious though, weren't they?
Yeah.
Perhaps it was the circumstance outside. They were really nice, but
there's something addictive in them that just makes you eat. Rob King, he says he was usually sent off to school with either Hazlitt or Polony Sarnies for pack up. What's that?
Polony, it's like a nasty, cheaper version of salami, really. It's
all right.
Imagine garlic sausage without the garlic, but the plastic
sausage. Yeah. Was it like pepperami, that sort of thing, was it? No?
Clearly mechanically recovered pork.
Yeah.
Smashed down to a paste, put in a plastic skin to set, and then sliced. Generally needed some other kind of meat with it in a sandwich to make it acceptable. Ideally part of a 5-meat combo, so you couldn't taste it at all.
Yeah. I can't believe price of corned beef now. Corned beef, when I were a kid, that's what everyone used to buy. Because
you need to make your own, Lee.
Have you said this before, how to do it?
Well, I don't know whether I've said on here how to do it. It depends what type of cut you like. If you want to be like Katz's Deli and get a piece of brisket, but I think that's a load of shit.
Yeah.
I'd just get a corner cut of topside, put it in a box, absolutely smothered with salt, and quarter of the amount again in sugar. Leave it in there for 4 weeks till it absolutely firms up, all the blood's out of it. Get it out, wash it, soak it overnight, and then simmer for about 3 hours. You've got corned beef that you will never, ever, ever go back to eating tin stuff.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's a lengthy process, but nevertheless, it's quite satisfying at the end of it then, after 4 weeks of...
It's extremely satisfying.
Of marination. Fry's been on, and we go away from food a little bit now. We come on to other things. And she wants to know what is our best 70s, 80s sitcom. Terry and June, Good Life, etc. I've watched both of them. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
For me, Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin, I think Lena Rossiter was work of genius. I think David Nobbs there writing that. I thought that was brilliant. And I think the American one, do you remember Married with Children?
Oh,
yeah.
Al Bundy.
Yeah. Oh, what a hero.
Oh,
And Christina Applegate as well. Fuck,
oh,
mate.
that was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
It was phenomenal, wasn't it? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there were so many good lines from that. It's just such a fantastic comedy, and I think if anyone's never watched it, I'm sure you can get it on YouTube or whatever. But it's absolutely fantastic.
They class it as misogynistic and everything.
Oh God, it was. I mean,
Yeah,
by
I
any margin, but
Superb show.
it was sort of, it used to be, he was the shoe salesman, wasn't he? And like all these overweight women, so, can you put the shoes on? She said, can you like tell me what it looks like from all angles? And he said, I would, but my car hasn't got enough gas to get around. It's full of lines like that. Really, really good. Really funny.
Yeah, he had some amazing one-liners. Whoever wrote that, I don't know who did. I'm going to have to find out who wrote that.
It is really, really sharp. It's, people say America's got no sense of humour. That dispels it because that is a genuinely laugh out loud comedy. Really funny.
I think we'll put that as on top pedestal for our Married with Children.
Al Bundy, yeah. Ed O'Neill. Yep, that was him.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Vincent Williams, which bar steward is the best singer on karaoke? Oof. I don't think any of us can we? Can you knock some tunes out?
Never done a karaoke in my life. Would never do it, ever.
Yeah. On last cruise I was on, I won't karaoke, but the competition wasn't great.
No, I think it's just really awful. I think it's one of those things, unless you can sing really well, it's awful, isn't it? I just couldn't envisage getting up there and singing.
I can only sing certain songs like that are a bit monotone.
Leonard Cohen covers or something like that.
If they've got notes where you have to go higher or really low, then I start to sound
stylistics then wouldn't be in your range, would it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be doing stylistics covers.
I have to be very selective at what I sing to be viable. But I don't know. I can't speak for any others. Don't know if Andy Richmond can pump it out. I wonder if Fry can sing.
Yeah, Elvis impersonates she.
Andy Richmond does a terrific version of the Telly Savalas hit If.
Oh God, remember that?
Yeah.
Yes. Wow, that's a novelty record, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay, Rat Podcast being on. Gary Hind thought he looked like a member of a boy band. Who do you think is currently the most deluded person in racing and why?
Oh, I don't know.
Deluded?
Yeah, as in...
Deluded.
As in deluded, yeah.
Yeah.
Red dung ape, because he probably thinks it can make a difference.
Well, there is all that in the racing politics and stuff like that. Hard to say, really, like with delusion. I'd probably say that, I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll be diplomatic here. I'm going to say most jockeys, because the standard of them is just nowhere near... No,
they all think they've arrived, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Very moderate, isn't it? I mean, how many of those, leaving Ryan Moore aside and possibly Ross Ryan, in the era where we got into racing, the Ed Reed, Carson, Piggott, Cawthon, those kind of people, how many would be able to lace their boots? Not many would be anywhere near those kind of guys, would they? Swinburne, etc. And that's not misty-eyed nostalgia either. I think objectively they were just better, weren't they?
No, because the thing is, back then, so you got your power 4 or 5, and then like John Reed and people like that are riding for Sangster, and you're thinking, well, riders like this, the talent they had then, were actually really, really good pilots.
Joe Mercer, even though he was coming to the end of his career when, in that era, but still very, very, very good.
Yeah.
Even as you said, you went down the pecking order. You had good jockeys, didn't you? Sort of journeyman jockeys that nowadays I think would be in the top sort of dozen, wouldn't they?
Yeah, Brian Rouse, Tony Ives.
Brian Taylor, those sort of people, very good. Paul Cook, remember him?
Yeah.
With Harry Thompson-Jones, Tony Murray, really good.
Yeah.
All would be in the elite division, wouldn't they? And yet in their era, they were okay, doing all right, but not knocking on the door of the big races.
Well, I can remember like slagging Richard Hills off a lot, but genuinely because like he'd either get the pace wrong, sometimes he looked weak in a finish. But even him, in today's terms, he's up there.
And Michael Hills as well.
Michael didn't get the opportunities that probably...
No, he didn't.
Richard
but
did. Yeah.
In terms of raw ability, they would be as good as any people that they regard now as sort of, the elite division, with the exception of the obvious people. I just think the standard has dropped considerably. Now, whether that's a product of the British Racing School, John and yourself will be better judges of that, but they all look the same. Many seem to be so tactically inept. It's almost like they don't kind of know what pace they're going, where the horses should be put. Just really poor. I mean, there's been so many bad rides this season. It can't be a coincidence, I don't think.
Well, I always say that if a race rider can just take time out of the day to study the race they're riding in and think where I'd like to be, I think that would help them a lot, because a lot of them say that the trainers don't give them instructions mostly, they just leave it to them. So if they're leaving it to you, then you should be like looking to think what you're going to do. You need plan A in your head, but you need plan B also if something goes wrong early, like you slightly missed the beat, or what you're going to do if that happens. And I think the best jockeys actually do that. They think, right, planning a race, let's do this.
That's right, though. That's exactly the right tactic to adopt when you have a jockey that's capable of doing that. So if you're a trainer, say, I don't give my jockeys instructions, and that's fine if your jockey is fucking Steve Coulthard or whatever. But the broad mass of jockeys that don't have that tactical acumen, I think they're missing a trick by not giving them instructions, because I think a lot of jockeys just aren't capable of formulating their own plan during a race. I just don't think they've got the ability, with a few notable exceptions, of course. And I think that's really dangerous. I think they should start giving jockeys instructions again, because most of them don't know what they're doing.
John, you agree with most of that?
All of it.
Yeah, the banker's been on.
The banker always comes on to make John an offer. So TJ's been on. This is kind of a weird question. What was the boys doing, or where were they when they found out 9/11 was happening? I was at Butlins, Skegness.
Red coat, were you, or something? Or judging the knobbly knees competition, or the
yeah, kind of
glamorous granny.
That was surreal, because I can remember we got things planned to do. And then when that came on telly, we just sort of sat in the room all day and watched it. Some say it didn't happen, Chris.
Oh, that's another rabbit hole. I mean, I was travelling to Bristol on government business, and obviously it was kind of sort of having smartphones. The only time I worked out something's wrong was listening to Radio 1 all the way down, and there was no, it was just back-to-back songs. And normally they jump in with, a DJ or whatever, or news, and there was nothing. It was just almost like just constant songs. I thought, it's something weird here. Why is there no news? And when I got to the office in Bristol, someone said, fuck me, have a look at this. And there it was. So, yeah, it was a surreal day.
Yeah. John, do you remember what you were doing?
Yeah, I was commuting, and similar to Chris, I had the radio on. I thought the Queen was dead, actually.
I thought so. I thought so, yeah.
I thought there's something up here. I fiddled about with the stations a bit, and it was more or less the same wherever I went. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to find out what the score is when I stop. When I got where I was going, I found out what was happening then. So, yeah, right.
It's kind of a weird day, that. The only other weirder one were when Princess Di got killed in that French tunnel.
Yeah.
That was a surreal news day. But bad things of the past. Producer's been on. I'll let her ask a question. She likes it. I never ask. Right. This is following on from last week. Would you rather question, A or B? For the rest of your life, would you rather have shovels for hands or tiny T-Rex arms?
She needs to get back on the meat, I think. Really.
Yeah. Well, I thought about this. It's got to be T-Rex, hasn't it? Because although you might struggle to wipe your arse, John's got his washer for that anyway. And there's always extenders and things when you need to...
I don't think you can even pop anything in your own mouth, could you?
No, probably not. But shovels for hands, what are you going to do with them?
So on a T-Rex, are the arms just for decoration? Or what? Do they actually use
Well,
them?
I've always thought that. They've got these massive tail,
Might as well not have arms, really.
No, it's shocking evolution, isn't it? T-Rex arms.
Well, they're not going to wrestle anybody to the ground with them arms, are they?
No, they just eat you.
Yeah, but like, if it came down to it and they said, right, I'm going to eat you, and you said, no, hang on, fucking arm wrestling. Right. You'd probably win your safety, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I always thought you might like shovels, John, because then you'd just be smashing everybody around head.
That'd be handy. I've seen one or two Irish lads like that go to work on a fucking bar full of lads.
Yeah.
You got the fucking shovel hands, you make fists with them. It's like two sledgehammers, isn't it?
Yeah. Chris, even though you find the question abhorrent, what would you actually choose if you had to?
I think shovels for hands, I think, would be better than T-Rex arms. My wife's looking at me like she's sort of into some sort of fever dream here. But yeah, shovels for arms, I think, with the long fingers. She's saying, come on, weird woman. But anyway, so yeah, I would say Should have her on. It'd be much better value. She worked a lot cheaper than I do, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think shovel hands, I think, would be good for John's reason. It reminds me of Hereford City football fans. A friend of mine used to support sort of Swansea, right? And they're quite known for their sort of little firm there, and they like a tear up, etc., particularly against Cardiff, etc. And this guy was quite handy, going on about, oh yeah, we had a right ruck with so and so, so and so. I said, have you ever shit yourself? Like, you know, when you sing "Fuck Me, we're in trouble." And he said, yeah. He said, we played some game against Hereford, right? And I said, Hereford, they got a farm. He said, yeah, but you don't realise. He said, all of their supporters are sort of 9-foot farm hands. He said, with hands like shit shovels, and they've all got one eye in the centre of their forehead. And he said, they're just like clear a whole swathe, like 30 weedy fucking Swansea fans, just smashing them out of the way with sort of hands like shovels. He said, they're the most terrifying group of people he said he's ever had a fight with at a football match. So Hereford City, he said, like, avoid at all costs.
There you go. That's that sort of thing. Bert Doncaster finishes the show off then. And he said here, John Joe finds love.
Wow.
After a whirlwind romance, announces
It's me all over that, isn't it?
that he and the lady are getting married. Lee and Chris are put in charge of organising the stag weekend shenanigans. What you planning? Fucking hell. Honestly, with that, all of us now are that fucking decrepit. Like us for doing anything energetic like that.
I know, you can't compare with what it might have been like 20 years ago and what it might now.
Ah,
A bit of a sit down, a cup of tea.
Yeah,
That'll be
go
it.
it actually would.
and have a good sit down somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. Don't know, really. I think.
What would you like to do, John?
I'd like to go back 20 years and do a £2 bag of coke in that.
Yeah, you're right there. You're right there.
Yeah,
I don't know, really. But you're right. When you get to a certain age, the prospect of doing anything like that, going somewhere for a high-octane piss-up, just fills me with dread. Got no interest in that anymore. And I think it's definitely an age thing. And you think, oh, I can't be bothered.
I'd rather not get married if I had to go through that.
Yeah, yeah.
Just fuck it, I'm not getting married anymore. You know, she can piss off.
That's actually true. John didn't messing about. If he had to do that, he'd say, fuck off. Well, I'm not doing that. Yeah,
Can't be bothered.
yeah,
if I have to go on holiday or I wish off, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
You could plan your own funeral instead, couldn't you? You could have a real good go at it and have a proper cremation, friends, everything.
Well,
really look forward to that day.
It said the other night, with Pure, there's no extras and there's everything you need in the package. So that'll be the matches and paraffin, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, matches, paraffin, chainsaw, the lot.
Set you on fire, basically, innit?
Mm.
You know,
Self-immolation. Now, on the last episode, right, I mentioned the Zizians, right? That weird cult. And I was absolutely disappointed in our listeners that no one came back on that. So I'm going to give you an alternative here. And I need you to look up, I think it's Universal Medicine, right? And I could be wrong.
Really?
And it's a cult. Well, they say it's not a cult. Set up, and you're like this, Lee, by a bankrupt tennis coach from Australia that says that practically every condition, including cancer and sort of chronic diseases, can be cured by breast massage. And he's been taken to court in Australia for perpetrating this dangerous and quite wicked method of treating women's conditions. But he's made a huge amount of money, and he has a client list as long as you are, women coming to his surgery to have their breast massage on the promise it will cure their underlying medical conditions. And he's made a business out of this. And he's got a very attractive wife, and he's very presentable, and saying, look, you know, it's deep medicine, but you have to have several breast massage sessions by him, and he is a trained therapist, and he trained himself, curiously enough. Universal Medicine, I think it's called. It's an Australian medical cult that's been in the courts there. So look that up. That's a rabbit hole you maybe don't want to go down, but it's a very odd one. Better than the Zizians.
No question.
That's truly incredible. And on that bombshell, we'll leave it right there. I hope you've enjoyed some of the chitter chatter and some of the rubbish as well. And we're back next week at the same time to chew more fat on the week that has gone. That's all from us. Bye for now.